This one is about K2 in the federal penitentiary. This is about K2 in the federal penitentiary. So sit back, let me ride, man. That's all I ask. I don't think that's asking too much. All right. This right here is about K2 in the federal penitentiary. I just want to give you all a glimpse into my mind of what I had to endure for 26 years. Now, this is what it looks like, you know what I mean? This is what it looks like in the federal penitentiary from the aerial view, you know? That's a federal penitentiary, you know? So let me tell you like this. Now, imagine living in those buildings you see right there on the screen, right? For 26 years, knowing you have a life sentence with no chance of parole plus 20 years. That was my scenario. Then you got other brothers that got 6 life sentences and 600 years. I met a brother with 15 life sentences and 2,000 years. And he had to keep his sanity while in there. So a lot of brothers choose to do their time differently. I choose to do mine to better myself, to learn, read, write, and travel beyond those walls you see on the left side of the screen. You understand? By elevating myself from reading books, from learning trades. That's how I chose to do it. You got other brothers that decide to go get, you know, a boy. You understand what I'm saying? You got other brothers that decide to gamble. You got other brothers that decide to watch movies. You know, watch soap operas. You know what I mean? Watch sitcoms. And then you got other brothers that decide to use drugs. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so much money for drugs in the joint, because that's people's #1 means of elevation beyond the walls. Now, let me explain this to you so you understand. You trapped in those buildings right there for decades, because wherever you go, you're going to wind up in a building that looks just like the one that I'm showing you. So you trying to survive under that roof for decades. Dudes go to drugs. Heroin was the drug of choice, but it's expensive, and not everybody wants to mess with heroin because they dealt with weed. You know, I smoked weed, and you know what I mean, wine. I drank my little white lightning. I didn't drink the regular, you know, wine and none of that, because I call that dirty water. You know what I mean? But the white lightning is when you take all that gook and, you know, you put the stinger in it and you steam it out and you get the steam, and the steam turns to liquid and it's clear and it looks like vodka. You know what I mean? That's why that's clean water, and then you have the dirty water when they put the orange juice, and they even made wine with prune juice. Imagine drinking 2 quarts or half a gallon of prune juice to get drunk. Now you drunk as hell, but you on the toilet, you know what I mean? Defecating all night, but you drunk. You know what I mean? And then you throwing up. So you got crap coming out of you from everywhere, you know? But that's a mean of elevation beyond the walls, you know? Then they got, you know, I didn't get hip to it, so call me lame, call me green, call me what you want. I keep it 100. I didn't get hip to K2 until 2010 when I was in Coleman Medium is when I got hip to K2. When I got there, they had K2 that was coming in looking like weed. Excuse me. They had K2, yeah, I had a little drink, you know. They had K2 that looked like weed. but it gave you hallucination. The hallucination was a form of elevation beyond the walls, so they loved it. Dude gave me an ounce of K2. I made my money off it, but it was still bulky like weed, so you had to bring it in balloons and all that through the visit. So I didn't really like that. And for you rat bastard trolls, all this is already documented. They already know everything that I'm getting ready to tell you. Your dumb ass just didn't know it. So now you hear me talking about it and your rat bastard ass gonna run and say, oh, he telling. No, I'm not telling, nigga. They already know everything that I'm telling. Your dumb ass just didn't know it. You know what I mean? But anyway, it got to the point where a sheet of paper, you get a letter from your girl on a sheet of paper like this. You know what I mean? They wet the joint up. You know what I mean? They take a clothespin and they hang it up in the bathroom on the clothesline with a little clothespin. And you spray it down with the liquid, you know, until it's completely wet and it's dripping, you know, and then you let it dry. And when it dries, and you write a letter just like this on it, you know what I mean? You write a letter just like this. Let me show you. You can write a whole page on it, you know what I mean? You know, I like to give you all your little demonstration. You write a whole letter on the joint, you know what I mean? You write a letter on it just like this. You fold it up, you know what I mean? And you put it in an envelope and you send it to your loved one. And when that get there, this sheet of paper is worth at least $3,000. You could get $4,000 for this one sheet of paper that your girl wrote, I love you, I miss you, I can't wait to see you, the kids are doing fine. And this is how we get it in. Now, when this come in, we take a ID card. An ID card. You know, like your driver's license. You take your ID card and you put it up on a joint like this. And you cut out the size of your ID card. You know what I mean? And that ID card go for $600. At least. $600 for a piece of this paper the size of an ID card. So you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I mean? That's $6,000 right there. And we didn't even count this side of the paper that's left over because the ID don't go to the whole side of the paper. That's $6,000. So you get about $7,000 for a sheet of paper, but you just got to get it past the administration. When that come in, then they take that, and when you buy the ID card, the people that buy the ID card, they take pay $600. And then they cut that down into a bunch of little tiny little squares. They might make 50, 60 squares, and each one of those squares go for, you know what I mean? It goes for a book of stamp. That's why I told you I was penitentiary rich. You know, it goes for a book of stamp a piece, or 2 books, depends what compound you want. A book is worth $5 at a time. 2 books is $10. So you got 50 squares. You understand what I'm saying? And you're getting $10 off of each one. You understand what I'm saying? So you already know you penitentiary rich and you caked up, you know? Now, when you do that, yeah, those little squares, when they sell one of those little squares, a dude take that and he get a little piece of steel wool. You understand what I'm saying? And he burns that. He put the paper on that steel wool, and he lights it, and when that little fumes come up, he go that quick, $10. But when he hit that after they done sprayed that down with that K2 liquid, they like, whoa. I've seen dudes do some of the wildest stuff off this K2. I was in Coleman, Florida, and I'm in the yard, right? And they get ready to call the move for everybody to go back to the unit. And when they get ready to call the move for everybody to go back to the unit, I see a young man get butt naked and start rolling around in the dirt, kicking up dust everywhere, going in circles like he's making like he's doing the windmill, you know, break dance, or he's making snow angels in the dirt in 110-degree weather down there in Coleman, Florida. Butt naked, humping the ground, man, from that K2. The hallucination take you wherever your mind is at. Obviously, he ain't get a chance to masturbate before he came to the yard, so he go to the yard and he smoke a joint in the pavilion. The pavilion, so you understand. You see those long buildings right there on the side? That's the pavilion, yeah, and that's the yard, to the right of it. That's the pavilion, and under that pavilion, it's like a shade, and that's where you got the picnic tables. They got TVs out there, so you can go out there and go watch the sports game, the news, a movie with your homeboys, or even a soap opera with your homies. You know what I mean? But you're under that pavilion where the camera can't see in what you're doing, so everybody gets high on the pavilion. Like I said, everybody already know this, so you rat bastards find somebody else to go troll or just change the channel if this is too real for you. Oh yeah, I got a birthday party. May 7th, Sunday from 5 to 12 at Salsa Con Fuego. I'm hosting a party. Ja Rule gonna be there. Funkmaster Flex gonna be there. It's gonna be fire. Make sure you show up. If you want to cop your bottles in advance, if you cop a bottle, it's $275 in advance, or you pay $350, $400 when you go there. But that $275 get you and one guest in free. You know what I mean? So contact me if you want it. My number is on the screen. DM me, whatever you want to do. That's the phone number. I answer that phone number on the screen. I answer the text to that phone number on the screen. You understand? I answer my own comments. And that's why I say the Cash App is on the screen. Make sure you see a little green checkered box to the right of the house. To the right of my name, Waynesworth Hall. When you put in $ Unique Mecca Hall, you'll see Waynesworth Hall and then checkered box. If you see a picture of me in the Cash App, that is not me. That is not me. Gotta have a little checkered box, and it'll be, I think, a red logo. But anyway, let me get back to the pavilion, because like I said, I'm riding right now, man. I'm riding. All right? Gunshots to me riding. All right? So now we under the pavilion, and everything goes on under there. They got the skin games set up at one table. They got the poker games on other tables. They got the blackjack joint set up other tables, and it's like it's like Atlantic City or Las Vegas under there with the gambling, and everybody filling out their tickets, watching the sports games, and carrying on and making moves. You know what I mean? And this is how we do our bid. But me, I go out there, I work out, get my strength on, and I tell two of these, but then I don't do the prison stories there, because that ain't nothing in there. I do the street stories, you know what I mean? Where I tell my hood chronicles, where they say, yo, tell me about what happened when you went to Miami. Tell me about when you went to Atlanta. Tell me about when you was in Virginia. Tell me when you was in D.C. And I tell my little stories. That's why I'm so good at articulating this, because I've been doing this for 26 years, but just not on a platform as big as this. Just a prison yard platform, you know what I mean? So, dude go under the pavilion, and he smoked that K2, and they get ready to call the move. Everybody waiting on the move, so we know it's 5 minutes to the move. So dude's trying to get to the gate so they can run to the unit to go run and get in the shower faster. And then here goes a dude, butt naked, so everybody moves away from him and gives him a circle like he's about to break dance. He gets on the ground and he's rolling around on the ground butt naked. He's humping the girl saying, I'm going to F the crap out of you. Oh, take this D. Oh, you stinking mother. And he's having sex in the dirt butt naked on the compound in front of 1,000 men waiting to come off the yard. And we looking like, wow. But the other K2 heads is looking like, whoa, where did he get that joint? I want some of that K2. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just crazy because the size of the paper is so small. Like, you look at your pinky nail right now. Out your pinky nail, you can make at least 10 $10 papers. You make $100 for 10 little squares the size of just your pinky nail from one of those cards that's cut from this joint here. So you understand. You understand? So that's how much money is there. But that one little square out of those 10 squares could have you rolling around on the ground butt naked. Dude was so high. When the administration came, they came and got him, threw him in a little, they got like a little golf cart with a stretcher on it. They throw him in a golf cart, strap him down, they take him over there to the medical. They let him sit over there for 2 hours till the K2, transformation wore off. And then they let him out and gave him something to wear, and he came back to the unit, and now he high, he don't remember nothing, and all the homies is laughing at him, saying, yo, you went home, son, yo, you was out there humping the ground butt naked, you were da-da-da-da, and they going in on him, and he laughing, saying, man, hold up, where's such and such at? I got to get another one of them before I lock in. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to go, he humping the ground in the dirt, butt naked. You know what I mean? They done scraped up his penis and everything else from humping the rocks and gravel out there in the yard. And then now he go back after they let him sober up, and they don't even put him in the shoe. That's the special housing unit. Game, Cash App, right there. Checkered box to the side of my name, or don't send it. No pictures of me is me on the Cash App. Now, he high as hell. Earlier, he had to go sit down in what we call the drunk tank. You know what I mean? He go to the drunk tank for 2-3 hours. He sober up, and they just let him out. So many people were smoking K2, they couldn't even keep everybody locked up in the shoe. So they stopped locking up in the shoe and just opened up a whole section of the hospital unit. So when they had their little hallucination trip, they take them over there and let them chill out and, calm down. That's how that K2 work in the prison. You know what I mean? But like I said, you can take a sheet of paper and sell it wholesale for $3,000, and another man is gonna make $6,000 to $7,000 off of that. He's gonna double his money just selling a whole ID card. And then the smaller hustlers that don't have $3,000 to buy the sheet, they buy an ID card size paper for $600. Chop that up and might get 100 or 120 $10 papers out of that joint. And like I said, the papers is so small. I was in the shoe. I was in the shoe when I was waiting to go to Atwater. They sent me back there. I got to tell you all about that one. I might do that today too, I got to tell you about how they wanted me to, lie on a female staff in order to stay in the medium. And I refused to do it. And they sent me out west to what they called the killing field, which was Victorville in the height of its time. I get to Victorville, and only one unit is allowed out the unit at a time. You got 12 units, but there's only 5 units active. The other 7 units is empty because they don't want to crowd that compound because it was too violent, too out of control, and too gang infested. That's where Pooh Shiesty at. Big shout out to Pooh Shiesty. All right, calm down. You know what I mean? Calm down. Now, that's where Pooh Shiesty at. You know what I mean? Now, they let one unit at a time. They don't use, I'm riding. They don't use no seasoning in the food. If you want salt and pepper on your food, you have to buy salt and pepper or hot sauce from the commissary. They just take a hamburger and drop it in hot water, boil it, and put it on a plate, because we wasn't even allowed to get fried food. No fried fish, no fried chicken, no fried hamburger, no fried hot dog. Everything had to be broiled. They call that hard and healthy. So imagine going in there and you eating rice with no seasoning. You're eating meatloaf with no seasoning. So it has no taste. It's like you're chewing to chew. This is where they sent me at. My first day there, I got there like maybe August 21st, 2018. And when I get there August 21st, 2018, I go on the compound. August 22nd, when I go on the compound, a white dude came with me on a bus that was hot. And when he went to the yard the next day, they went to mauling this white boy. So the white boy's overkill. And this is me saying this as a black man, as a convict. I'm telling you, they overkill. They stab you till you stop breathing. They're not worried about parole or coming home. They're worried about getting their bones. But they have to do that because it's less of them in there, because they locking up more minorities, so they got to let us know they're going to take it to the next and ultimate level. But that's where they sent me at. let's go back to Coleman. So now I'm in Coleman, dude high as hell. They also took, like, you know how you get a card, a birthday card, a Christmas card, a Father's Day card, you know, sent in. They sprayed that with that stuff too. So now the mailroom, they got to figure out what got it on it. And at the time, it was so new that it was nothing to detect when it was on it. So all they could do was hold it up in a piece of paper in the light and see if you could see, you know, the change in the color. Now they're getting 10, 20,000 pieces of mail for 1,000, 2,000 inmates. So how the hell do they have time to hold up each piece of mail to still give it to you in a reasonable amount of time? They don't. They can't. You know what I mean? So that's how it was getting in. You know? Then they came up with all types of stuff to test it, and you know what I mean? Then they came up with some other crap. What's that other thing they came up with? Oh yeah. And at the time, the K2 high, whether it was the weed form or it was in the paper form, the K2 high couldn't be detected in a urine sample. So you could go smoke some K2 right now, be high as hell, go down there, piss in the penitentiary bottle, and when you piss in the penitentiary bottle, it comes up, you know, clean, and you're not high. And you just smoked K2 before you went down there, where marijuana stay in your system 30 days, heroin and coke stay in your system 3 days. So of course, everybody decided to flock to the K2 because you didn't have to worry about getting it dirty. Because you get a dirty urine, you wind up losing 28 days good time. You see what I'm saying? You ain't trying to lose your good time. Yeah, I'm just enjoying my black and mild. Yo, go to my Roku channel and watch my videos at Roku. If you got Roku TV, go there and put in Unique Mecca Audio. Then I'm also on Spotify and iTunes and all that, you know, with my podcast. Go download audio, man. You know, I got some different audio than what I do up here. I'm going to start doing some lives over there, so go over there and go check that out. And, you know, represent, man. Like I said, give me the emoji, man. Give me an emoji. Everybody just give me an emoji, you know. And I want to say welcome home to Earl Coleman Bay from Washington, D.C. You know what I mean? Welcome home to Earl Coleman Bay. All right? And big shout out to my man Red, you know what I mean? Antoine White, you know, Larry Moe, E.R., Bonaparte, you understand what I'm saying? La, Rat, you know what I'm saying? No Limit. You know, these are all the good men that came home. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, let's say free, you know, Mookie, you know, Levi from Baltimore. You understand what I'm saying? Booby from the Booby Boys, Plex. You understand what I'm saying? From Booby Boys. I mean, we got them all over the place, man. You know, welcome home, Kareem from Philly. You understand what I'm saying? Best Friends, welcome home. One of them just came home. I'm waiting on my man Plex and D. I think D might have just came home. So I'm waiting to reach out to them. But, you know, that's what it is, man. You know, and big shout out to my man Homicide Lou, you know what I mean? Gangster Lou, you know what I mean? Big D, you know, I mean, the whole family, man. That's how we do. And don't forget my man Mo Grind, you know. But that's how that K2 move. I just wanted to give y'all something about the K2. So you see how vicious it is in the penitentiary. That I have a nigga humping the ground, butt ass naked, carrying on. Alright, so let me give you this outro. And, you know, man, don't forget the party, May 7th, Salsa Confrago, 5 to 10, 5 to 12. We got Funkmaster Flex on the Wheels of Steel and Ja Rule performing and another female performing. Alright?
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime.
How was that, babe? Huh? Yeah. I kept it short. I didn't want to drag it, you know? You been over while I'm on the road.
Fresh out the
can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself linked in. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio.
Now say it again.
Mecca what? Mecca audio. Mecca what? Mecca audio. Mecca what?
Oh, that's a good one right there. I'm gonna do that. Oh, let's talk. I'm gonna do you say it again in a minute. Take your shirt off. Put it on.
We gon' do it like we keep it moving like we gotta do it like get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind.
I gotta get back on my grind.
Spend a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust down. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.